In today's video, we're going to be going over 4 things that you should never buy in GTA 5 Online after the Cayo Perico heist was released. I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. The first thing you're never going to want to buy in GTA Online is going to be the sonar station inside of the brand new submarine. It costs $1.2 million, and I'm going to tell you guys why it's a waste of money. So obviously the sonar station is used, so then you guys can go and collect these crates that are around the map. Now these crates will give out about $7,500 and a little bit of RP as well, and if you collect all 10 of them, you'll get $75,000 total. You won't get any bonus at the end, and I believe you can actually do this every day. 10 new crates will spawn every single day, and it takes about 5 minutes to collect each crate depending on how far away each crate actually is. Now, it would be awesome if you can actually do this. You have your submarine, you decide to go out and find these crates, and you finally get one, you go down to get it, but you can't actually get the crate with this vehicle. So then what you need to do is go out and buy another vehicle, either the new Kraken submarine or the Toreador submarine slash car, I guess, and then you can go and collect those crates. So pretty much the only reason you actually have this inside of the submarine is so you can drive to the location of where these crates are, then exit in one of the moon pool vehicles you have stored inside of your submarine, and then you are finally able to go and grab that crate, and then you only need to go and find 9 more to get a measly $7,500, and at the end of the day, you'll net a total profit of about $75,000. Now, in all honesty, like I said, it'll probably take you about 5 minutes, maybe less, maybe more, to actually go and obtain these crates. Like I said in videos, to make money. If you're actually going to do this to make money, think of it this way. If you guys can make $75,000 in an hour some other way, it's not worth it to do this. Plus, you have to spend that $1.2 million to actually buy the sonar station inside of the submarine, and you can't even collect the crates with the actual submarine. So then you'll have to spend the money to either buy the other submarine or the new Toreador to actually go and collect the crates. So in the end, it'll take you a very, very long time to actually start making profit off of these crates. And if you really wanted to, you could spend like 5-10 minutes doing a vehicle cargo mission, steal one high-end vehicle, and make more than you would get from doing all of these crates in literally 5 minutes. Some people might say this is actually useful, but in the end it really isn't. Now, if the submarine was actually a lot faster, then it would be kind of useful, and if it could pick up the crates, then it would be great as well. But the submarine does not actually go as fast as you think it does. The only way this submarine will actually go fast is if it's above the ocean level and the water is extremely calm. That means no waves. You will then be able to get this submarine up to about 60 miles per hour. But if there are waves, it'll be hard for you guys to go over 40 miles per hour. And if you're underwater, it'll be hard for you to go over 20 miles per hour, because I was doing those tests on PC and you guys could see the speedometer in the bottom right corner. Now, if you guys were to use the Toreador, this vehicle can go about 31 miles per hour underwater, and then of course you have that nitrous boost, which will boost you up to about 50 miles per hour. So it'll be much quicker if you actually did this in the Toreador. So in the end, there's really no point of actually getting it inside your submarine, because you can actually do it a lot faster if you're in the Toreador. So then you don't actually need to exit out of the submarine, go inside one of your moon pool vehicles, then go get the crate. You could just zoom around, get each crate every single time, since it comes stock inside the Toreador with the sonar station. So in the end, the sonar station in the submarine is just not worth it, so save that $1.2 million and spend it on something else. I know you guys enjoy playing video games, but it can be very hard to grind on every single game, especially if you don't have a lot of extra time. If you need some help on any of the games that you play, check out Digizani in the description, and they will supply you with everything you need in any of those games, and get 10% off by using code FROLIX at checkout. Next up, let's talk about the 2 go-karts, the Dinkavetto Modern and the Classic version. Now, if you guys didn't get the Classic version for free, obviously don't buy it, because it's not worth the money. Now, the Modern version costs about $100,000 more than the Classic version if you didn't get it for free, of course. Now, let's actually talk about this. We received 2 go-karts, and we didn't receive any races. Now, that would be okay if we could at least make our own races with these vehicles, but if you go into the creator mode, there is no way to actually select these vehicles to use in races. So pretty much they're just normal vehicles in game that you're going to pay about $1 million for. So when it actually comes down to it, which of these 2 vehicles is better, and are they even worth it to buy? Not gonna lie. These vehicles, or at least the modern version, is actually kind of cool. It's really fun to drive around, and it looks like a real go-kart. Some people don't like this version because of the rails that it has. It's a little bit harder to go up curbs. That is 100% true. But if you go on the curb at an angle like I just did, you'll be able to get up them no problem. But if you go at them dead on straight at a high speed, you will pop up into the air, unlike on the classic version you will not. But that doesn't really make it a lot worse because, like I said, if you're going at a high speed, you'll just fly up into the air, and if you're good at controlling it, you can easily make it so that it lands back on its wheels. Plus, if you're driving this, you're not really going to be running away from people on oppressors. Considering you're driving a go-kart, you'll be dead in a minute. So just don't drive up curbs with the modern version of the go-kart. Here is another thing you guys probably didn't know about the go-karts. The modern version is actually a little bit faster than the classic version. When fully upgraded, the modern version goes to a top speed of about 65 miles per hour, which is honestly not that bad. That is pretty damn fast. But the classic version goes to a top speed of 61 miles per hour. Now, it might be because of the aerodynamics on the vehicles, because the classic version just does not have the body of the modern version. Even though they're the exact same vehicle, the modern version just has, you know, the normal go-kart features that you would see if you were to go to a go-kart track today. So is it actually worth it to buy either of these two vehicles at this point in time, just before Christmas in 2020? Well, honestly, yes and no. When it comes to the modern version, it's actually a really fun vehicle to drive around, and I have a lot more fun driving this around than the classic version. Maybe because it's just a little bit faster and it looks like a go-kart. That is probably why I like driving this one around a lot more. Of course, everybody has the classic version, or most people do, but if you're considering buying one of these vehicles right now and you miss the option to actually get the classic version for free, I would suggest to just stay away from that, because currently we don't have any races for these vehicles, and we also can't make any races. So you're literally just going to be buying this vehicle to just drive around in free mode, and they have absolutely no special features whatsoever. Unlike the F1 cars, when we actually got them, we got F1 races, which were actually kind of fun. Not as much anymore, but honestly, at least we got some races, and I can tell you this right now, go-kart races would be extremely fun. So like I said, at this point in time, honestly, I would suggest just staying away from both of these vehicles, but if you're considering buying one, I would suggest buying the modern one and staying away from the classic version of this go-kart just because it's slower and the modern version looks cooler, or just wait and maybe in the future we will receive go-kart races or have the ability to actually use these vehicles in our own custom races. Next up is the new Kraken submarine, and it costs almost $1.6 million, and this is something you should definitely stay away from. One of the worst features personally I really hate about this vehicle is the fact that first person is literally like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 first person. You can't actually go and see inside the vehicle. Unlike the other submarine, like even the Kraken, like the original one, you're able to actually go in real first person inside of the vehicle. So that's just one feature I don't really like about it. Another one is the fact that the only feature this thing has is the sonar scanner, and you guys know it's not that great. The best vehicle to use the sonar with is the Toreador, but you're going to spend all that time with the sonar, and you're going to spend an hour in the Toreador trying to get all of those crates, maybe a little less because that vehicle is fairly fast, but if you try to do it in this thing, it will take so much longer because this thing is extremely slow. The only cool thing about this vehicle is the fact that it's new, and it can hold 4 people, but that's pretty much it. It takes so long to travel around with this thing, and it's just not worth the $1.6 million price tag. Plus, you can't upgrade it, you can't change the color. It looks this way forever. At least that's how it is for right now. Personally, I hate this vehicle. The first time I drove it around, I actually kind of liked it, but once I realized it had virtually no features except for the sonar, I was like, this thing is pretty garbage. But anyways, I would just suggest staying away from purchasing this submarine because it's honestly not all that great. The final vehicle you should definitely stay away from now is going to be the Stromberg. Before, this was the only vehicle that you could turn into a submarine and then back into a car, and honestly, it was really cool before, but now this thing looks pretty terrible, and we're going to go over why, comparing this to the brand new Toreador to see exactly what is better about the Toreador compared to this, and we're going to do it a lot faster than some of those 10-minute videos out there. The Stromberg costs about $3.18 million. With the trade price, you can get it for about $2.3 million. The top speed is about 110 up to 111 miles per hour. The Toreador costs about $3.6 million, and it's pretty much the exact same top speed. I did notice that the Toreador has a bit better of an acceleration compared to the Stromberg, and of course, this vehicle also has nitrous, which will enable it to actually reach top speeds of almost 150 miles per hour, which is much faster than the Stromberg. So you're paying about $1 million more if you unlock the trade price for the Stromberg for a bunch of extra features like nitrous, the sonar scanner as well. So in the end, it's actually worth it to get the Toreador, but that's not all. Underwater, the Toreador's top speed is about 31 miles per hour, while the Stromberg's top speed underwater is about 29 miles per hour. And I did notice while driving both of these vehicles underwater, the Stromberg tends to drive up a little bit more compared to the Toreador, which actually stays pretty level. If anything, it starts to dive down a little bit more. So that's another better part about the Toreador compared to the Stromberg. And of course, you can use the nitrous underwater with the Toreador and get it up to almost 60 miles per hour underwater, which is insane. And of course, that nitrous does recharge as fast as the Vigilante's NOS does, so that's pretty much in about 3 seconds you're going to be able to just zoom past the Stromberg, practically going 2 times faster than that vehicle. Now, of course, the Toreador will set you back an extra $1 million, but the features that you get honestly make it a better vehicle. It's a little bit faster underwater. It has the ability to use its nitrous underwater, making it 2 times faster than the Stromberg. It also is just easier to control underwater, in my opinion. Like I said, the Stromberg tends to actually rise up, while the Toreador mainly just stays level, which is exactly what you would want from a vehicle that goes underwater, which I personally like a lot more. And of course, it comes with a free sonar scanner, and this is obviously the vehicle that you would use to do the sonar missions the absolute fastest. You can get around the entire map a lot faster in this vehicle compared to the new Kraken submarine and also the actual big submarine that we have. I'm not going to pronounce it because I'm going to get it wrong. But yeah, the Toreador is much better than the Stromberg, so when it comes down to it, I would suggest just staying away from the Stromberg because it honestly is just not worth you guys buying anymore. But anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this did help you out if you guys were considering buying any of these vehicles. Hopefully you don't, just because honestly, there's really no point in buying them, especially some of them. They're just not worth it at all. And of course, there will be some more of these vehicles in the future once all of the drip feed vehicles have been released into the game, so we'll probably make another episode of this video in the future, most likely in February once they are all released, but we will see what happens then. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.